The onset of COVID-19 shocked the global economy. Many businesses had no other choice than to pivot their business models and standard operations to comply with the shifting safety and regulatory landscape. While sectors like retail, food service, and travel suffered the most during the pandemic, big tech experienced an incredible boom. While it may seem counterintuitive at first, the onset of quarantine and remote work perfectly positioned the rise of big tech. More people ordered groceries and provisions online from Amazon and major retailers. Companies were required to move their data centers to the cloud and invest in virtual machines to reduce on-site staff. Likewise, streaming services experienced a huge increase in watch time as cinemas closed for an entire year. As a result, tech giants raked in fortunes over the last year, without any signs of slowing down. The 7 largest tech brands grew a staggering $3.4 trillion last year. Amazon and Apple even recorded record revenues in the last quarter of 2020, reporting over $100 billion in revenue for the first time. CNBC Make It recently compiled how much revenue each of the 7 largest tech brands makes per minute based on quarterly earnings reports. So, let's dive in on how much revenue tech giants make per minute. But before, make sure you don't miss our next video and subscribe on the button down below. Number 7. Netflix. $55,270 per minute. In 2020, the streaming giant Netflix earned enough to purchase a Tesla Model S every minute. Netflix reported earnings of $7.2 billion in the last year of 2020, though subscriber growth stagnated the first quarter of 2021. While earnings of $55,270 per minute placed Netflix in 7th place, it's enough to join the ranks of the behemoths after a full year of global quarantine-induced Netflix and chill. Number 6. Tesla. $80,162 per minute. Though Tesla boasts a $677 billion market value, 2020 was the first year that the car maker reported consistent quarterly profits of $10.4 billion, or $80,162 per minute. As a result, stock prices soared in early 2021, enabling Elon to briefly surpass Bezos as the wealthiest person in the world. With Tesla's quarterly earnings, you could purchase 80 iPhones every minute. Number 5. Facebook. $201,936 per minute. The social media giant now ranks 5th on this list at $201,936 of revenue per minute for the first quarter of the year. Facebook makes most of its revenue from advertisers, which had a field day with the increase in usage over the pandemic. Instead of watching boomers make fools of themselves, if you were Zuckerberg, you could be taking joy rides in a new Lamborghini every minute. Number 4. Microsoft. $321,805 per minute. While the world is wondering how Bill and Melinda Gates plan to divide their assets after reporting a divorce without a prenup in place, Microsoft has been living its best quarantine life. Largely due to the increase in Xbox and cloud services, Microsoft saw a 19% increase in revenue in its last quarter of 2021. This amounted to $41.7 billion in quarterly revenue, or $321,805 per minute. If you're currently in love with that chunk of change, you could purchase the Duchess of Sussex's custom 3-carat engagement ring every minute. Sorry, Bill. Number 3. Alphabet. $426,805 per minute. Alphabet, Google's parent company, posted a third straight quarter of record profits of $17.93 billion, which amounts to more than double the previous quarter. Revenue is also up 34% from last year at $55.3 billion, or $426,805 per minute. Imagine vacationing on islands all over the world. Well, if you made $426,805, you could purchase a new island from Belize to Alaska every minute. Number 2. Apple. $691,234 per minute. It's no surprise that Apple tops the list as a frontrunner. Despite early manufacturing issues, Apple's iPhone sales grew 65.5% in a year. As a result, Apple now boasts the largest market value in the world at $2.2 trillion. The company reported revenues of $89.6 billion in the last quarter, or $691,234 per minute. At that rate, you could purchase 400 of the latest MacBook Pros per minute, or one MacBook Pro for every resident of California in 3 months. Number 1. Amazon. $837,330 per minute. The transition to online retail was hastened by store closures and social distancing measures this last year. With its 2-day Prime shipping and automated operations, it's not surprising that Amazon leads in revenue with more than $108.5 billion to show in their last quarter. This is the second quarter that Amazon reported record-breaking revenues over $100 billion, despite PR hurdles over the last year. In the early days of the pandemic, Amazon garnered criticism for its warehouse conditions, which led to widespread boycotts of the service. Now that those days are long forgotten as convenience trumps social welfare, Jeff Bezos recently announced a step down as CEO. Nonetheless, Amazon reported earnings of $837,330 per minute over the last quarter. With a bank account like that, you could put a down payment on the most expensive penthouse in New York City valued at $90 million with a day's earning. All these companies together brought in an average of $373,606 per minute this last quarter, despite difficult economic circumstances. Although big tech, like every business, faced uncertainty during the beginning of the pandemic, by the end, it's clear that they are emerging from quarantine stronger than ever. What would you do with all that money? Tell us in the comments below. Thank you for watching and see you in our next video.